Hey, this is Matt from InvestiQuant. Today is Thursday, November 19th, 2020, and today is the day before options expiration. So I figured we would take a look at what has happened on this specific day as we approach options expiration day tomorrow in context of what we have developing here at the open. So currently the markets are trading around where they closed at yesterday. They closed at the lows of the session yesterday, and we have kind of traded up and down a little bit from yesterday's close in the overnight session, but we're not too far away from yesterday's close currently. So I figured we'd take a look at kind of a flat-like open as we approach options expiration tomorrow. So let me go ahead and set this up in Discover using all four instruments. The setup is going to be based upon entering the market long at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, exiting at the close 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And like I said, we're going to be looking at what is a somewhat flat open. And the way I'm going to describe that is I'm going to use the gap size as a percentage of the 5-day ATR. And I'm going to say that the open is no more than 20% of the 5-day ATR away from the prior closing price. So if I just type in 20 here for the max size as a percentage of the 5-day ATR, that'll give us that definition in there. And just for reference, 20% of the 5-day ATR in the S&P right now is about 10 points. So plus or minus 10 points from the prior closing price is where this would fall at right now. All right, next I'm going to go into indicators, and I'm just going to put us above the 200-day simple moving average. This is a day that only happens once a month, so I want to keep as many samples as possible. So I'm just going to use above the 200 here, and I'm not going to add above the 10. Then I'm going to go into the market events, and I am going to say that it's the day before options expiration day. I'm just going to grab that from the active today section. It is this top option right here. If I go ahead and click on that, then I can click view results. And here we go. So these are the results of going long at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, exiting at the close 4:15 p.m. Eastern Time. When it is the day before options expiration day, you are above a 200-day simple moving average, and the open is within 20% of the 5-day ATR from the prior closing price. So up or down, it doesn't matter. It just means that it's not getting a huge gap at the open. It's kind of a flat-like open. And historically, this has had 77 samples in the S&P. We've got 80 in the NASDAQ, 81 in the Dow, 81 in the Russell. So similar sample sizes there. And if we look at win rates on them, you'll notice they are all a little bit skewed on the upside. So the S&P coming in 64%, one of the stronger ones here. The NASDAQ 55%, the Dow 64%, and the Russell 57%. So the weakest of these is 55%. The others are stronger than that, with the highest at 64%. So all of those in agreement that it has closed above the open more often than not in this specific day with this opening type. If we take a look at the average win, average loss, looks like the average loss is a little bit bigger than the average win in the S&P. That is not the case in the NASDAQ. NASDAQ has a little bit larger average win than average loss. Average loss is larger than the average win in the Dow and the Russell. So 3 of the 4 have a little bit larger average losses than average wins on this day, but all 4 of them have closed above the opening print more often than they have not. So a little bit more of a bullish lean as far as it closing above the open. So hopefully you found that helpful. Good luck, and we will see you next time.